does the future of LA that is peaceful, does peace require all these different hoods just minding their own business and staying away from each other? Or is there actually a future in which everybody gets along?
I think it's like personal. It's personal. It's amongst families. People protect their family. You know, if you understand, like man, all right, my people, yeah, he from where he from, but that's family. And from there, people know they off limits. Right. People respect that if they respect you. Sometimes people will test your family. Sometimes you will have to stand up for your family. You know, and that's another thing that come with it, is you willing to stand up and stick up for what you believe in. Right. Some people won't. They ain't ready to have the odds against them. Right. Some people, when the group combined, people fold. Some people stand tall. You know what I'm saying? When they see like, okay, everybody against me, oh yeah, I know what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? And to stand for something like, oh yeah, these my peoples, like, you know what I'm saying? And try to dead the beef as much as possible. You know?
I feel like I sometimes, because I'm always like wrapped up in like Chicago rappers and Chicago content and then LA shit too. So I'm kind of always like contrasting and comparing like what's normal in each different city. And you got to give it to LA that it just feels like, okay, when you ask the Chicago rappers, like, do y'all have big homies? They always like, hell no, never. Whereas in LA, most dudes will be like, yeah, you know, and you can see the effect of that because.
But what have the big homies taught you? You know what I'm saying? If they just taught you to destruct, right? You know, it's got to be more to it. It got to be something. Even if that's what they taught you, you're supposed to take something from that and make something greater. Right,
because in LA, I feel like I'll frequently see situations that will turn into, you know, it won't end up becoming violent, or there'll be like a fight and not a shooting and shit like that. And it's a lot more mutual respect, which isn't to say that LA is not completely fucked up, because obviously when it comes to gangbanging shit, it's fucking insane. And I'm not trying to make it sound like it's much like better, soft by any means. But you get to see like what a way worse city is like with the Chicago shit, where it feels like I ain't heard about none of those dudes fighting each other in forever. It's always
yeah, for sure, man. But salute my boy though, Lil Durk, man, for managing to get through that storm in them dark clouds, man. Like that's really my bro. Like 10 years plus. Like we been locked in. I've been going to the rack, O Block. You know what I'm saying? And I'm locked in. Like,
how'd you meet Durk?
I locked in with Durk through G Weed. Okay. G Weed when that shit was going on. Free G Weed, you know. Meet the Whoops. We in this, y'all know. Yeah, but G Weed, it was just, you know, back then Chicago was special. Like regardless what we seen, because that's what we see that here. So whether when I went there, bro, you wouldn't believe it. I went there, you wouldn't believe it. I wasn't supposed to leave the airport. And I locked in with some other people and left the airport. The homies told me don't move. And I end up leaving and going to go be with some people, getting off some lean, going to sleep.
You were supposed to wait for somebody else to give you a ride, and then you ran into somebody else who had some lean, and you were just like, fuck it, I'm going to hang out with them.
They came in. They made sure they got me and picked me up. Okay. But the big homies was finna go link us up with Lil Durk and D-Thang and them. You know, rest in peace, D-Thang. Right. We was finna go lock in with them. And from there, I left the airport. Because this the thing, my mind was still, you know, corrupted a little bit, so I couldn't sit still. And you know, even though they wasn't landed yet, like that was I think probably like one of my first flights. So from there, like I left the airport and went to Inglewood and all that without the homies. Right, I'm in the trenches jumping in taxis and everything, bro. You feel me? And I'm with dudes that I ain't never even known, and they get me leaned out. My family was worried about me. They couldn't find me, calling my phone. Then from there, the big homies was able to, once I finally woke up, he's like, man, where you at? I'm like, man, I didn't crept off, man. And from there, they came back and got me. They was mad, but they was already with Lil Durk and them. Oh, yeah. And from there, that's how we locked in. And from there, like, bro, we like family. Like,
think about if somebody was flying into LAX and you were supposed to pick them up and they just went with some random people that met in the airport instead. You'd be like, you cannot move this way. This is not safe. You can't be on that type of time.
Yeah, you're right.
Damn, that's
you're
crazy.
right. Yeah, but back then I didn't have no guidance, and that's the thing we gotta understand is rarely guidance where we getting it from another individual. Sometimes you gotta find guidance within yourself. So I had to find that guidance and start going to the rack a little more and, you know, catching up with the culture and seeing what's really going on and like, oh yeah, this is really actually serious. Like more like, you know, because it's serious here, but once you go there and you know like, oh yeah, something can just happen out the blue and you don't have to be a part of it.
Right.
You could just, I'm hanging on blocks in Tay-Town and all that, for real. Like, and I'm humble with it too. Like, I ain't out there, you know what I'm saying, on some super blood, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, bro, like, it's treacherous out there, for real. Like, you been out there, but it's different when you out there and ain't no cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You seeing what's going on and you see the activity, like, nah, they program different.
Yeah.
You know, they really.
No, I know a white YouTuber who went to Chicago recently and was hanging out with some dudes who are like legitimately like serious ass gangbangers. Like people want them dead. And I still don't know what happened to him, but allegedly there was a shooting that this white YouTuber dude was there for. And that that just reminded me of like, all right, like if you're going into these environments, you can't just be hanging out acting like it's all good.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm so used to going to New York and it's all good. But man, Chicago.
I've been in New York too.
Yeah, like New York, you're in Manhattan, whatever. But it's like I'm just not going to anybody's neighborhood and taking any fucking chances at this point. If we're doing content somewhere, we got to move very, very properly.
This how you know I'm serious about my craft. Prime example, bro. I went to New York in the middle of the pandemic, right? When I had got a song with Casanova,
right?
When he was going up, and from there, you know, this pandemic with the COVID stuff was real. People was dying.
Yeah.
And just imagine seeing that on TV and you like, man, I ain't going. Some people, I ain't going there. I ain't going. I ain't jumping on no flight.
We all were for a little while.
No, I can't forget because I jumped on that flight with my friend that's no longer here and he died after that and you know, and he took that chance with me so I could never forget that moment. You know what I'm saying? And we quarantined together in his grandmother's mobile home and we was doing the pot with the, you know, the quarantine stuff they telling you to do, the remedies and all that, and we was doing that. And we went there, we shot the video, we was able to get it done, and it was we was blessed to make it back and you know, overcome that, you know, that sickness that was in the air. Like, bro, I probably had on 3-4 masks. You know? Yeah, you can go look it up. It should be on YouTube, but I recently had like a encounter with, like, see, when you dealing with these producers, you don't know, like, you know, who be sending beats and who be helping with them. So if people don't get their credits, they fell away. So they got the song took down or something.
Yeah.
So then from there, it was like it was a waste because I got them to what they call it when you get it approved and everything.
Like reinstated on YouTube or?
No, like it was approved to be released.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forgot what they call it, but yeah, I got it approved to be released. And then that shit just like, it was just like, damn, nigga didn't go through that for nothing.
Yeah.
But I believe the video is still on YouTube.